In this episode, Lily, we're tackling something that makes everyone's palms sweat: job interviews. Specifically, 12 tough interview questions that can trip up even the most seasoned professionals.
Ugh, job interviews. They're like the first date of the professional world, except instead of deciding if you want to share a dessert, you're deciding if you want to share your life's work with these people. The pressure. But Sophia, I have faith that we can decode these tricky questions and help our listeners ace their next interview.
Oh, absolutely. We'll break down each question, explain why interviewers ask it, and provide some killer response strategies. Let's start with a classic. Tell me about yourself. Seems simple, right? But it's a crucial opportunity to set the tone and showcase your relevant experience.
It's the ultimate elevator pitch. You need to condense your career narrative into a compelling story that highlights your skills and how they align with the specific role. No rambling allowed. Imagine trying to explain the entire plot of War and Peace in 30 seconds. You'd have to focus on the key characters and conflicts, right? Same goes for your career story.
Exactly. Next up, what are your greatest strengths? This is your chance to shine, but be careful not to sound arrogant. Back up your claims with concrete examples.
I'm a highly motivated self-starter with exceptional communication skills. Sounds great. But it's much more impactful to say, in my previous role, I noticed a communication gap between departments, so I initiated weekly cross-functional meetings. This improved project completion rates by 15%. Show, don't just tell.
Now, for the dreaded weakness question, what is your greatest weakness? Honesty is key here, but choose a weakness that isn't critical for the job and demonstrate how you're working to improve it.
Saying I'm a perfectionist is so cliché. Instead, try something like, I sometimes struggle with public speaking, but I've recently joined Toastmasters to improve my presentation skills. It shows self-awareness and a proactive approach to personal growth.
A good point. Another common one is, why are you leaving your current job? Even if you're fleeing a toxic workplace, stay positive and focus on the opportunities you seek in the new role.
No bad-mouthing your former employer. Focus on your career goals and how this new position aligns with them. For example, I'm looking for a role with more leadership opportunities, and I'm excited about the chance to lead this team at your company.
And now, let's talk about the behavioral questions. These are designed to assess how you've handled situations in the past. A classic example is, tell me about a time you failed.
Everyone makes mistakes. The key is to show what you learned from the experience. Share a specific example, explain what went wrong, what you learned, and how you've applied that lesson in subsequent situations. Think of it as a mini case study in resilience.
Precisely. Another behavioral question is, tell me about a time you worked on a team project. This is where you showcase your collaboration and communication skills.
Highlight your contributions to the team's success, even if it wasn't a leadership role. Did you help resolve conflicts? Did you take on extra tasks? Did you keep everyone motivated? These are all valuable contributions.
Then there's the salary question. What are your salary expectations? This can be tricky, but it's important to do your research and know your worth.
Research the average salary for similar roles in your location. Provide a range rather than a fixed number to give yourself some negotiating room. And don't be afraid to ask about the company's benefits package, too.
Why should we hire you? This is your final chance to make a strong impression and summarize why you're the ideal candidate.
This is your grand finale. Reiterate your key skills and experiences and explain how they align with the job requirements. Emphasize what makes you unique and why you're passionate about this opportunity.
Do you have any questions for us? This is not the time to say no. Asking thoughtful questions shows your genuine interest in the company and the role.
Prepare a few questions in advance, but don't be afraid to ask follow-up questions based on the conversation. This is your chance to learn more about the company culture, the team dynamics, and the career growth opportunities. It also shows you've been actively listening throughout the interview.
Finally, the question that often leaves people stumped. Where do you see yourself in 5 years? While no one can predict the future, it's important to show that you have career aspirations and that they align with the company's goals.
You don't need to have a rigid 5-year plan, but you should express your desire to grow within the company and contribute to its long-term success. For example, You could say, I'm eager to develop my leadership skills and eventually take on more responsibility within the team. It shows ambition and commitment.
So those are 12 tough interview questions and strategies for tackling them. Remember, preparation is key. The more you practice, the more confident you'll feel.
Absolutely. And don't forget to breathe, smile, and be yourself. Let your personality shine through. You got this. Now, speaking of shining, did you hear about the electrician who wore a light bulb costume to a Halloween party? He was quite bright.
That's electrifying. Okay, back to business. Let's delve deeper into the tell me about yourself question. While it seems straightforward, there's a subtle art to crafting a concise and compelling response. It's about showcasing your relevant experience without overwhelming the interviewer with unnecessary details.
Imagine you're a chef creating a tasting menu. You wouldn't serve the entire cookbook, would you? You'd select a few key dishes that best represent your culinary style. Similarly, when answering, tell me about yourself, you need to choose the experiences that best showcase your skills and qualifications for the specific role.
That's a perfect analogy. It's about tailoring your narrative to the audience and the occasion. Think about the job description and the company's values. What are they looking for in a candidate? Highlight the experiences that demonstrate those qualities.
And don't be afraid to weave a story. People connect with narratives. Instead of simply listing your accomplishments, connect them with a thread that shows your career progression and your motivations. For example, you could say, I started my career in customer service because I've always enjoyed helping people. That experience taught me the importance of communication and problem solving, which led me to pursue a career in marketing.
That's a great example of how to create a cohesive narrative. It shows your passion, your skills, and your career trajectory. Now let's talk about the greatest weakness question. This one can be a minefield, but with the right approach, you can turn it into an opportunity to showcase your self-awareness and your commitment to growth.
It's like choosing a superpower with a slight drawback. You want to choose a weakness that isn't critical for the job and demonstrate how you're working to overcome it. For example, if you're applying for a role that requires strong public speaking skills, don't say that public speaking is your greatest weakness. That would be a red flag.
Exactly. Choose a weakness that is manageable and demonstrably improvable. For instance, if you sometimes struggle with time management, you could say, I've been working on improving my time management skills by using project management software and prioritizing tasks based on their urgency and importance.
It shows that you're aware of your weakness and you're taking proactive steps to address it. It also demonstrates your willingness to learn and grow, which are valuable qualities in any candidate. Now let's talk about the salary expectations question. This can be a delicate dance, but it's important to know your worth and to negotiate confidently.
Research is key. Use online resources like Glassdoor and Salary.com to research the average salary for similar roles in your location. Consider your experience, education, and skills when determining your desired salary range.
And don't be afraid to ask about the company's benefits package. Benefits like health insurance, retirement plans, and paid time off can significantly impact your overall compensation, so factor those into your calculations. Now let's talk about the importance of asking questions at the end of the interview. This is your chance to show your genuine interest in the role and the company. It's also an opportunity to gather valuable information that can help you make an informed decision.
Prepare a list of questions in advance, but don't be afraid to deviate from the script if something interesting comes up during the conversation. Asking thoughtful questions shows that you've been actively listening and that you're genuinely engaged in the discussion.
For example, you could ask about the company culture, the team dynamics, the career growth opportunities, or the company's plans for the future. These are all important factors just to consider when choosing